Welcome! Today we're going to have the ultimate face-off where we will be battling some of your favorite fictional heroes and villains to see who will reign supreme. Because who hasn't wondered if Darth Vader could take on Jafar in a battle to the death? You're listening to Open Here, a podcast produced by Pack TV. I'm Mark McKinley.
And I'm Tiff Phillips.
Let's get started. This is going to be our Fighty episode. We're going to pin fictional characters up against each other and see who will conquer. Now, Tiffany, are you ready to lose?
Oh, I'm ready to bake this turkey. Let's do this.
All righty. So our first pairing, we're going to be Indiana Jones versus Han Solo. Same actor, but different genres. Now, Indiana Jones was a quick-witted archaeologist professor, try to say that 5 times fast, with a thirst for adventure. Now, Han Solo, street-smart grifter from the Star Wars universe who indirectly joins a revolution. So, Tiffany, let me start with this. Indiana Jones pretty much always got the girl. Where Han Solo...
He got the girl.
Yeah, but Indiana Jones got the girl more. And more girls. Not that that's a thing, but, you know, that's what Indiana Jones was during the time it was a thing.
But was it a romance for the ages? No.
Well, granted, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, that's kind of like a dark, redheaded stepchild movie from the original trilogy of
No offense
Indiana
to
Jones.
redheaded stepchildren.
No offense to them. But, you know, who did we get back together with? His ultimate love, Marion. So he did have his love for the ages, but, you know, he had to take a couple of twists and turns along the way.
I'm sorry, but nothing makes my legs weak more than the romance between Han Solo and Princess Leia. How can you? That is the epic. Like, if there was my one true pairing, sorry, fan fiction term, that would be Han and Leia. It is the most epic, and it has transcended through time, and we all love them so much. They're huge in the fanfic world. So I don't know if you can compare Indiana Jones. Yeah, no.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. So here we are. Yeah, we had 3 movies. I tend to disagree with you. I thought Indiana Jones had a much better, varied love life than Han Solo. So here's another little thing for Indiana Jones. A bullwhip is better than a blaster.
Oh, okay. I need to hear this. Let's go.
So let's look at Han Solo's use of his blaster.
Okay.
Throughout the movies, what did he do? A little pew, a little pew. Occasionally he hits something, maybe.
Okay.
What else can you do with a blaster? Bonk somebody over the head with it? He didn't even do that, really, in the movies. What can you do with a bullwhip? By golly, you can, like, you know, whip things and you know, whip that bullwhip around like a tree branch and swing over a dangerous pit. I mean, you've got multiple uses of that bullwhip. Bullwhip is better than a blaster.
I don't know if a bullwhip can do as much damage as a blaster. Okay, do you remember in A New Hope when they were at the cantina and he shoots the alien and then just smoke starts pouring out?
Well, let me go into my last point then, since you did bring up the infamous cantina sequence.
Okay.
There's no doubt in anyone's mind if Indiana Jones shot first. That's right.
That is a huge conflict in the Star Wars world. Like, that is a huge point of contention for a lot of folks because there's 2 versions, as you recall. There's an edited version when the newer one where I think he shot where Han Solo doesn't shoot first, correct?
Correct. But you know what? Is there multiple edits of Raiders of the Lost Ark? No. Because Indiana Jones definitely shot first.
But Han Solo's timeless. Timeless. They just keep rejuvenating him. over and over again.
Same thing with Indiana Jones. I think another one's being made even as we speak.
Can we? Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Can we talk about how beat up, though, our friend Harrison Ford looks right now?
Hey,
he's still doing it, though.
Look, man, he's still getting them paychecks. More power to you, sir.
But okay, so let's talk about this further. So Han Solo, street smarts versus expertise in archaeology? I mean, what could get you through life more?
Well, here's another point. What inspired kids to go out and pursue a college major in archaeology? Now, granted, they probably went and changed it to business administration or something. Did Han Solo inspire a whole string of kids to become smugglers, hauling spice across the Kessel Run?
I don't know. I did steal that pen from that convenience store when I was like 5. So,
So, that's kind of like, there's that youthful inspiration that Indiana Jones rekindled in all of us when we watch those movies.
I know, but I feel like street smarts, kids having street smarts actually benefits them more than knowing how to dig up a skull.
Well, that's true. That's true. But, Indiana Jones does know when there's a bad date in the bunch. Fruit, not lady. Let's carry on. So our second pairing is going to be Rocky Balboa versus Rambo. That's right, Rocky Balboa, the famous boxer from the Rocky franchise, and Rambo, a troubled and misunderstood Vietnam veteran relying heavily on combat and survival skills.
So first we need to talk about which stage of life these two characters would fight at. We're talking about earlier versions of like Rocky versus Rambo, not just like two beat up old guys. Just like
well, you can think of them in their prime.
Yeah.
You can certainly encompass their entire separate careers as Rocky and Rambo. So, the sky's the limit. But if you want to focus it, so be it.
I think prime, probably prime.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rambo. Okay, so I feel like Rocky would come out strong because Rocky is a fighter. But I feel like he's in a 12-round match. That's like, 45 minutes to an hour maybe?
Yeah, but you get tired slinging those fists around. I can tell you that.
But Rambo is like a survival expert because he has to be. So I think longevity-wise, Rambo would kick Rocky to the curb.
Well, let me counter you with this. Rocky Balboa defeated the Soviet Union without even pulling a trigger. Rambo had to, have an M60, slung around, or, ramming into attack helicopters. But by golly, it was Rocky. Rocky who took out old Drago and took him out without even pulling a trigger. And won freedom and inspired all the Soviet Union to, partake in perestroika and have the revolution and get rid of all of the USSR things, statues.
It was all Rocky.
That wall came down. It was all Rocky.
Yeah, but put Rocky in a jungle. Would he survive the elements?
I think he would.
You think he would? How?
Look, Rocky can catch a chicken. With his bare hands. He's got that quickness in him. He can go.
There's a lot of
catch
chickens in the jungle.
Well, I'm sure there's other, fowl or avian wildlife that he can partake of. But think about this. I mean, Rocky caught that chicken, but in Rambo 3, that's right. We're going to sheep ball because even though Rambo picked up that sheep and was running around in the game, he was, joining in with the Afghans and their, rituals and games. And, he did grab it. He grabbed that sheep, but he didn't ever score the goal because the attack helicopter came down and shot up the whole village.
I think also working for him, Rambo has it stinks that he has PTSD, terrible, but he's almost got permanent fight or flight mode. So that actually benefits him. It gives him adrenaline, whereas Rocky doesn't have that Vietnam vet kind of aura around him.
I don't think he needs that.
You don't think he needs it?
No. Well, I mean, look, he certainly needs to, know about handling his money. So, that rise and fall of Rocky, he made all that money. He bought that fancy robot. But then towards, when we're getting to like Rocky V and Creed, he's lost all his money because he didn't pay all of his taxes and he had to go back to his roots again. So he's got that going for him. And, and now he kind of built himself up again. But
has Rocky ever killed anybody?
No, but
yeah.
Well, that's certainly a deciding factor. But is there an actual statue of Rambo anywhere? Go to Philadelphia. There's a statue of Rocky. You can go to that museum, stand on the Rocky steps, and they've got his little footprints in bronze there, so you can recreate your own Rocky moment.
The best thing about this is they asked Sylvester Stallone in an interview who would win, Rambo or Rocky, and he says, I don't know, but they would never come out of that fight the same men they started with.
All right. So let's take a look at our next pairing. Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Thanos. That's right. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the legendary Jedi teacher in the Star Wars universe, versus Thanos, that mean old supervillain from the Marvel universe.
Indeed, indeed. So, what you got?
Well, certainly Obi-Wan Kenobi, he can certainly use a Jedi mind trip to prevent that snap.
But that's for weak minds.
Who says that Thanos didn't have a weak mind?
Because he doesn't have a weak mind. He totally counters all of the Avengers.
Because he's got those fancy Infinity Stones. I mean, does Obi-Wan Kenobi need an Infinity Stone?
No, but his strength. So can I talk about his strength for a second? There was a professor, an engineering professor at Northeastern University that once calculated the math of the real life math that Thanos' physical strength allowed him to deadlift 60,000 tons. To give you a little bit of context, Titanic came in weighing at 52,310 tons, which means he could lift the Titanic with about 8,000 tons left to spare.
Yeah, but Obi-Wan Kenobi could just do a little mind trick and levitate that Titanic too. You don't think he's got the power? You got to believe, Tiff. You've got to believe.
I don't know. Professor's never done the math on Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Please do. And let me know, because that was a whole lot of numbers.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing, too, is that he can survive a lot. So, like, he can survive lightning. He survived against the Hulk. So he's got a lot of longevity.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. But, I would think a lightsaber 10 times cooler than Infinity Gems. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I am a Star Wars fan, so I can't really disagree with that. But I don't know. Obi-Wan Kenobi is no longer with us. I mean, actually, does any Jedi really pass on?
No, they don't. They become a blue glittery ghost for us to remember and reminisce and learn by.
Just the aura. It just kind of hangs out.
All right. Well, I might give you Thanos because you had numbers to back yours.
Telling you, statistics matter.
All right. So let's take a look at our next pairing. Robocop versus the Terminator. Now, Robocop is a human-robot hybrid who serves as a police officer for pretty much the apocalyptic streets of Detroit. Not real Detroit, apocalyptic. So, and the Terminator, he is a cyborg assassin sent from the future to kill Sarah Connor, but ends up finding the true meaning of Christmas. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the Grinch, not the Terminator. All right, so with Robocop made eating baby food macho.
Could that help you through a fight, though?
I would think so. You get all the essential nutrients from that baby food, because after he got all cyborgied, and became RoboCop, they had to reconstitute just pretty much every part of his body, and the only thing he could eat was a baby food.
But I think what RoboCop doesn't have going for him is that he's human.
Well, he's half human.
He is, but humans still have weaknesses, whereas robots don't. Terminator is a full-fledged robot, whereas Robocop is part human.
Even though Robocop was part human, Robocop took more gunshot wounds than Terminator ever did.
Yeah, but you could still punch him in the face.
Yeah, but he's
Right in the mouth hole.
Right in the mouth hole. But he's got, Robo Jaw. He just goes kook. Come on. I mean, Robocop, that if you ever watched, the unrated version of Robocop, the first one, that guy took a whole lot of shots. I can tell you that right now.
Indeed.
And we're not talking party shots. We're talking gunshots. None of that stuff, well, really, I mean, yeah, sure. Terminator charging through, you take a little shot at him, blam, and he just keeps on coming. Take another shot at him, blam, keeps on coming. But Robocop took a lot of gunshots.
But can Robocop get viruses? He can, right?
Maybe, but a robot can get viruses too.
Yeah, but I don't think Terminator's controlled by man, correct? Where viruses come from humans.
Humans or computer viruses. So yeah, I'm just playing on your words there, Tiff. But let me counter with this as well. Is there a statue of the Terminator?
Oh, here we go.
Anywhere?
Is there a statue of Robocop somewhere?
One of the first crowdfunding projects way back in 2011. You were still drinking your Ecto Coolers back then. But way back in 2011, that was one of the first initial Kickstarter projects where people raised money to build a replica
in Detroit?
In Detroit.
That's amazing.
They were going to place it in Detroit, but and they were going to put it at the Science Museum. But then the Science Museum said, no, you can't host it here. So they're going to take it to Peter Weller's hometown, which is on the outskirts of Detroit. And that's where they're going to place it.
So it still is in production, or is
it's finished?
It's finished. It's out
huge.
there.
It's huge.
What a missed opportunity for the Science Museum. I feel like if that was just like our Science Museum, they would be like, yeah, just put it right here. Just put it right here next to a dinosaur. It's fine. But if they did fight and if Robocop did win, you know what? The Terminator, he'd be back.
Oh, zing touche. All right. So come down to our last pairing here, Tiff. Ellen Ripley versus Sarah Connor. Now, Ellen Ripley being the femme fatale, so to speak, of the Alien franchise, and Sarah Connor, that ubiquitous target, always in search of, looking for Sarah Connor, the Terminator. But yeah, Sarah Connor gave birth to the rise of the machines and led the human revolution over the machines with her son.
Yes, indeed. So Ellen Ripley dodges aliens. That's her superpower. She doesn't fight them, really. She just kind of dodges them.
Doesn't fight them?
She doesn't really fight them. Sarah Connor is
she got into a loading suit and dropped the alien queen down an airlock.
But that was maybe a couple times. But overall, she's just running away from aliens. That is the entire premise of the Alien genre.
Well, I mean, look. Sure, Sarah Connor, she might have taken out a Terminator, but...
Because she was trained by, a militia.
Well, Ellen Ripley, in the same movie, mind you, Alien, took out not only an android, but an alien in that movie. And look, Ellen Ripley, she certainly didn't need years or militia to train her on how to use a gun. Right? It only took a few minutes with her and Corporal Hicks, and by golly, she was shooting up eggs all over the place in Aliens.
I mean, but she keeps finding herself in the same, get out of space. Just go. Just go. Why are you still there? Just go home.
She's driven. She's driven by trying to keep Weyland-Yutani from cashing in on all these alien eggs that they know about.
That's true. I mean, but if Sarah Connor could get out of the Terminator situation, I feel like she would flee, and be smarter for it.
Now, also too, I think Ellen Ripley made better use of molten lead than Sarah Connor. That's right. Alien 3. That's right. So what did Sarah Connor do in like Terminator 2? She just like shot, the T-1000 a couple times, and it took the T-800, knocked the T-1000 into the molten steel. But by golly, Ellen Ripley used herself as bait in the mold where the molten lead was going to be poured into that mold, and she climbed up and they dropped all that lead onto the alien, and then they squirted the water on the alien, and the alien shattered. Come on.
That was a great scene. But side note, who's a better mom?
Well, look, Ellen Ripley, she took Newt under her wing and told a bedtime story, told her that, sometimes monsters are real. You never know. Yeah.
Sarah Connor trained her son to fight robots.
Yeah, but then he becomes like semi-crazy and goes wacky. I don't know.
We can't help sometimes who our children become.
Look, you can pick your nose, but sometimes you can't pick your mothers. That's just the way the world works, Tiff. And by the way, is there a statue of... There's no statue.
We'll create our own statue. Just the two of them holding hands.
All right. Well, at the end of the day, I guess I want to think that everyone would turn out to be friends rather than foes, except for Thanos. Man, you got me on that Thanos.
No Thanos.
That dude's just evil. If
bad
he can
news
lift
bears.
up a thing. So... Tiffany, I want to thank you for this opportunity to do a little versus battle with our little pop culture picks.
It's been a great time.
And, if you're ever thinking about making a statue, you can certainly make a statue by listening to Open Here. That's right, a podcast produced by the local scene of the Plymouth area community television. PAC TV is the community media provider for Massachusetts towns of Plymouth, Pembroke, Kingston, and Duxbury. To see more of our content, visit pactv.org/the local scene. I am Mark McKinley.
And I'm Tiff Phillips.
Thanks for tuning in, and we're going to hang out again soon.